hate it when people start a sentence with "as a woman," but I'm going to start a sentence with "as a woman, I'm terrified by the fact that Roe v. Wade was overturned a little while ago, and now in a lot of conservative states, such as Texas, and well, not even Texas, and just kind of everywhere, the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade has opened up the floodgates to a bunch of other stuff, and one of those things being the abortion pill being not allowed anymore. And so mifepristone, that is the drug that is not, the Supreme Court has upholds restrictions on mifepristone. And so on Friday, blah, 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 restricting of mifepristone while lawsuits brought on by anti-abortion groups. And and basically people aren't allowed to order mifepristone anymore.
Yeah.
But for the moment, it has not been banned. But let's see what exactly has happened. Oh my gosh, reading is hard, Marcel. Reading is so hard.
It's fine. So basically what it is this and I don't remember, I want to say it was a Texas court basically ruled that mifepristone was basically said that mifepristone could no longer be distributed despite the fact that it's been FDA approved for 20 years. It's an abortion drug, but it's also used for women who have miscarriages, so that way they don't have to give birth to a dead fetus, which I would say is a good thing. I wouldn't want to go through something as tragic as that. As a man, I wouldn't have to. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of trying to make a joke, but also take it seriously at the same time. So I apologize for that. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was a Texas judge. I have it right here in my notes. So yeah, Texas judge basically ruled that ban mifepristone across the entire country. Hopefully the Supreme Court rules by the end of the day, but it's currently 7:00 here on the East Coast. So I will see what happens. But yeah, like it's, to me, and Sham, you can speak on this as well, although now this is just me tripping up on my own turn of phrase, but this kind of goes to what we were talking about earlier about government overreach and activist judges. And for so long, Republicans were against activist judges until they had enough judges in place to I guess use them to their own advantage. And I mean, that's kind of how the Republicans been gaining their way, despite the fact that literally everything they believe in is unpopular, has been by taking over the courts, putting in judges, keeping the Democrats from appointing judges, such as the case with Merrick Garland, famously not being allowed to have have a hearing. Excuse me. But I guess this shows this shows the consequences for when we as leftists, liberals, Democrats, whatever you want to call us, aren't paying attention or say that these things aren't important. This is like another lesson in that, like, hey, this shit does matter. We saw that with, as you said, with Roe v. Wade, and Merrick losing the Merrick Garland seat, Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying and losing that seat as well. I mean, shit, Trump got to appoint 3 judges in a single term, which is not unheard of, but certainly is more outside the norm than in the norm. But that's why every election is important. That's why everything matters, and why we always need to get out and vote, is to try to stop this kind of stuff from happening. Because when it happens, like, we're sitting here just like, what the fuck? But this is potentially incredibly dangerous if this allows to happen, and this could lead to the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's all about control. I talked about this earlier in the episode. It's all about controlling people and controlling what they can and can't have. And taking away the rights from people, and it's increasing government overreach while limiting like what people can and can't do. And it's just awful to me, because how can the state government of Texas be like, yeah, this woman doesn't need this pill, when literally it could be a situation where the fetus is causing her to die, and like it needs to like not be there, or it is in the case of rape or incest, or just the many other reasons why a woman wouldn't want to go through having a child. How is that pro-life if that child is born and it ends up dying right away, or ends up killing the mom? Like, that's not, are you pro-life or are you pro-control? Because the mom or the baby dies, and then what is the point of that? Then no, like, how is that pro-life at all? That doesn't make sense at all. And then even in cases where the mother nor the fetus dies, the mother is forced to raise a child that she has had because she was raped, or it was because of an incestuous situation. What is that like for that child? And how is that, or even a mother is forced to raise a child that she can't afford to raise, and like the child goes malnutrition and all this other stuff happens. How is that pro-life? And how is that going to help anybody?
Yeah. Yeah, Sham, and you're absolutely right. And like I actually had a conversation about like this kind of topic one time with some anti-abortion activists on US campus, where I made the same point, like, you guys are, anti-abortion, but what are you going to do about like the same people you vote for don't support an increased welfare state to make sure these kids are taken care of? The current adoption situation in America is all kinds of fucked up, and already way too many kids that don't get adopted are in it. And like there's the infrastructure to accommodate, I guess, forced childbirth isn't there in America. Republicans sure don't seem like they're in any kind of hurry to improve those kind of things. And if they actually cared about those kind of things, they would have dealt with that before getting rid of abortion. They would have made sure that there was adequate social safety net.
Yeah, we have to stop talking about this, because now I'm getting even more upset. We'll be back in our last installment of our first episode. Pretty exciting. And yeah, we'll be back.
See ya.
Bye.